YouTube, and after that I will send questions on the chat. Okay. Girls, can you confirm if you received the questions, please?
Yeah, I received.
Okay. I'm sending the link of our transmission on YouTube. If you want to watch after that, you can go to our YouTube channel and watch again. It's really good to visit our immersions. Okay, so as I say, we are here today to talk about our immersions. About our emotions, about our fears. But before that, since we are live on YouTube, I want to ask you, girls, to introduce yourself. Okay, I will start with you, Ian. Can you talk a little bit about you? And after that, we can choose other girl or me to continue, please. Ian, can you start, please?
Okay. Hello, guys. My name is Yari. I am 25. I live in Montes Claros, Minas Gerais. I am civil engineer, and today I work with solar energy. I have 2 little pets. I like watch movies and series, and I like game. I like study and play guitar and sing and the other activity. I like very things, a lot of things. So that's it. And you, Belle.
Hello, guys. So I'm Belle. I live in Salvador, but I born in Fortaleza. Nowadays, I live with my sister, with my mother. I have 2 pets also. I have 2 dogs. Yeah. So I'm here.
Belle, girls, can you listen, Belle?
Sorry,
me,
I don't.
It's frozen on for me or for you,
yeah,
girls?
No, for me too.
Maybe
Okay. Belle, please go on.
sorry,
Or-
it's my connection. Yeah, return.
Yeah, you return.
So yeah, and I think it's that.
All right, all right. And who will be the next one, Belle?
Oh, sorry, Rita, go ahead, please.
Okay. So my name is Rita. I live in Minas Gerais. I'm in Talca about 1 month, more or less. I live with my husband. I don't have any children, just a dog. In this time, I'm not working. I'm studying to get my first opportunity in cybersecurity, and I'm studying English for helping me in this job to get my first job. I think it's that. And you, Carlos?
Okay, thank you for asking. So my name is Carlos. I'm 33 years old. I'm married. I work as a software engineer to a company located in USA. I can talk more. I work as a software engineer. I don't know if I already did that, but I work with programming language every day. It's something I like since I was a teenager, and sometimes I make some mistakes on English conversations, and this is the reason I'm here, because I need to learn every day. Okay, so we can start to talk about our feelings. Okay, let's start with the question number 2. What does fear signify for you? Let's start with you, Rita. Can you, if you want to read the question number 2 and speak what you think about that, please?
For me, the fear signified like them help you to not put yourself in fear, like em perigo, não sei falar inglês. But if you have a fear about anything, it could be a problem in your life. Maybe you cannot do something of what you want. So fear is nice, but you need to polarize this. It's not be too a little and not could be a lot in your life. I think is that. And about you, Yanni?
So I think that that is when you feel danger about anything, and you feel, I don't know, how can I say, ansiedade, and you have very other vários sentimentos ruins. That's it. About you, Bel?
So guys, I think it's a hard question when I try bring us some concepts about fear. But yeah, I think when we talk about fear, we talk about ourselves. Yeah, we talk about self-confidence. And for me, I think is that that's conception. When you are afraid or when you have fear about something, it's because you have something inside of you that it's like a signal, yeah. And the most part, it's okay. The connection, guys. Are you?
Yeah, it's nice.
Okay. So and sometimes I think is that when I'm afraid about something, it's because I don't trust in myself or I don't have any confidence. Yeah, of course there are a lot of kinds of fear or feel fear. Yeah, for example, I'm scared about snakes, for example. I don't know why. Maybe I watching some movie about anaconda when I was a child. Yeah, but yeah, so I think is that nowadays the conception about fear for me involve self-knowledge, yeah, or self-confidence. Yeah, it's not about to be afraid about something that can be that can bring damage at my life. I think is that.
All right. I know why you had fear of snakes, because you are a normal person, you know. I think everyone had to be afraid of that. Snakes, spiders, scorpions. Usually, regular people don't have afraid of that. Okay. For me, fear, it's that feeling you feel inside of you who try to warn you to stay safe, you know. Sometimes, as Bell say, sometimes you have fear of talking in public, right? For me, it's really important being here and talk, because I had a lot of shame, vergonha of open my camera, and when I know I'm being transmitted on YouTube, it's really hard, and being here helped me a lot with that. But fear is that feeling you feel inside of you who try to tell you, God, man, don't go in that way because you can have problem, you know. So if you are walking in a street, in a dark street, and when you saw someone coming behind you, this put some alert on your mind. Maybe I will be robbed. So you try to be safe. So is that feeling inside you who try to keep you safe all the time? So that can be a security reason, or maybe a fear of talk with other one. If you had to talk with when I was younger, I had fear to talk with girls, you know, when I go to know my wife, it was really strange because I was too ashamed to talk with her. So I go to talk with a friend of mine who know her and introduce me, you know. So there are a lot of fears during our life. All right, let's move on. Ian, can you start with the question number 3, please?
Okay. What typically triggers your fears?
Yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
the pronunciation.
I think it's triggers. I don't know, right? But I think it's that.
Triggers.
O que engatilha, né? O
Okay.
que aciona os seus medos.
Então, I think is losing a person, losing someone or something. A big problem, for example, getting to a big problem, and I don't, tipo, acima de me alçada e eu não consegui resolver. I think that's it. And I don't know how can I say in English, but barata. I hate.
Yeah, it's
And that's
disgusting.
it.
It's é nojento. It's disgusting,
Yeah.
for sure.
And the animal that not die, never die.
Yeah, they are very
That's
tough,
it.
you know.
Yes.
All right.
And you, Carlos?
Maybe it's hard because nowadays I don't have a lot of fears, you know. I was a police officer, so I don't have afraid to be deaf, you know. I don't have afraid to do almost all the things. My wife had a lot of fears, you know. If my kids are running, oh girls, stop, you will hurt your brain if you falling down. Se você cair, você vai se machucar. But usually I'm not that way. I like, or I have the dream to go do parachute, you know, pular de paraquedas. So I don't have a lot of fears, but I think nowadays my main fears are related to my daughters. If something happened to her or to them, it will be very hard to me, my daughters and my wife, of course. But what triggers my fears? I think it's when I'm seeing what I have afraid being happen, you know. For example, I don't want to lose my girls, my daughters. If something happened to her and they hurt, or maybe they got sick. This triggers some fears on me. I think it's that when I realize, oh man, this is happening, this happened to me. All right. And what about you, Rita? What active your fears?
Uh, when I have to take some risk in my life, like change my career, what I'm doing now is giving to me a fear. But my biggest fear is lose something I love. And this gives me a big fear. And about you, Belle?
Yeah, Rita, you bring a really interesting point for me. It's like when you have a change in our life, yeah, like to lose someone that we love. I mean, that can be so hard because involve a lot of feelings, yeah. So I think it's that can be a trigger um, in my life, yeah. And I think in general, it's when you have a bad experience in the past, or when you have some information that you don't have a good experience, yeah. So I think it's a main problem, and the most part of the time, the fear are feelings that have in your inside of you, just in your mind, yeah. The most part of the time the problem don't have happen, yeah. It's just your fear in your mind, or and it's a possibility to don't work correctly, yeah. So I think is that it's involve a mindset and some information and bad experience in your past, yeah, in your life.
All right. Rita says something really interesting, but I want to listen from you girls. I don't remember if we had this question on our talks, but I want to listen if you have afraid of something in your work. We talk about fear of animals, fear of losing someone you love, but in your job, you have fear about something, about lose your job or doing some mistake or maybe doing something wrong or something like this. This I don't have I don't know if I put this question, but this came to my mind, and I want to listen from you, starting from you, Jan. Do you have uh, some afraid or some fear in your job or not? How is that? Yanni, are you there? Guys, are you listening to me?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
okay for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I am.
So, did you listen what I say, Yanni?
Yes. In your job, it's about the big problem. For example, I have experience, not good experience, and in the moment, uh, in the moment that I had the problem, I I feel the I feel the já palavra fear, and um I don't know, I don't want the talk about this, but other fear that I had uh, was the lost my job, and in the moment I don't have the I am I don't know how can I say English, so tipo, autônoma, but
Self-employed.
self-employed. Thank you. But I want um, the the job, assim, eu preciso me sentir instável. And when you don't have the correct job, you don't have the você não tem esse tipo de sentimento. And sometimes I feel the fear. I feel the muita ansiedade. That's it about the work.
All right. All right. It's really interesting when you talk about anxiety. It's really, how can I say, when this involve our work, it's triggers anxiety, sometimes depression or other stuff like this. And what about you, Belle? Do you have any fear in your job or not? It's a safe job. What about that?
No, so far it's not so secure job. About my career, it's like I can consider, but all the time, all the service, it's like a challenge, yeah, because involve a lot of lives, and that's safety of life involve my perform, yeah, at my work. And nowadays it's so hard because I work like a supervisor. So I'm not just responsible about my actions. I need to be responsible about other co-workers, my other co-workers, like a controllers. So I think my big challenge is, it's not a fear for me, but when we need to have a good relationship. So because of that, the communication become a key for my work. Yeah. So, but about myself and my profession, I think in the past I have some fear to speak in public, like you said. And nowadays, and because of the TNT, that changed a little because I expose myself for another challenge. And talking English, it's like, okay, you expose yourself in English. And nowadays, to talk in public, it's not so a big problem because Portuguese, it's my native language. And I feel so comfortable to talk in Portuguese nowadays. And no matter, I talk with a lot of people in Portuguese. And I think is that when you pass your boundaries in your first challenge in your life, you can grow up. Yeah. So I think is that my big fear in my professional life is all the time have a good communication, because sometimes you start don't pay attention about that, and that can be a problem. Yeah, and at my work it's so important to have a good communication all the time with my coworkers or with a pilot, in other case too.
Yeah, it's a really interesting job, and maybe, I don't know, me, if I was on your place, I don't know if I could work with that. And what about you, Rita?
Of course you can.
All right. And what about you, Rita? You say you are studying to a new profession, but do you have fear about something on your new profession, on what you are studying? How is that for you?
Yes, this gives me a big fear because I don't have a big, I think it's knowledge, conhecimento,
Knowledge, yeah.
knowledge. And this is complication. I am study a lot all the days, but when I get by the first job is, I know I will be a heavy fear because it's new for me. It's not like very different of my last career, all the different. So I will be to work hard, learn a lot. So this gives me a big fear. But in my last professional, giving me a fear too. I was in there a lot of year, but sometimes you have a new project, you don't have some knowledge, so give me fear too. So I think it's normal in life, in your profession.
All right. I had to say to you, congratulations, Hit, because cybersecurity is a really interesting topic for me. I always like it that I'm a programmer, so sometimes I have to do some security breaches. It's really interesting. I think 2 or 3 years ago, I was looking for a lot of courses related to that, thinking to change my career to that, but I don't put energy to go study and being focused to that. So I'm being a lazy guy on this field. So congratulations. It's really nice being studying this kind of situation.
Thank you.
Yeah. For me, nowadays, I usually say I'm living in the paradise because in the past, I think 2 years ago, when I was a police officer, I was a police officer, eu fui policial militar por 8 anos, for 8 years. And I had to decide a lot of times during my career as a police officer if someone will live or not. Thank God I never had to kill anyone, but I had to shoot in other persons. I go to guys who was robbing, roubando banks, stars, and people being kidnapped, and that kind of stuff, murders and other stuff like this. So I think in that time my main fear was to kill someone. Isn't something I want, but I didn't have fear to go to the situation, but in there I have that fear, I don't want to do that, but if I had to do, I will. And nowadays, my main concern is don't fuck up everything. If I typing some code on the terminal or doing something, I don't want to break anything because software is something really sensitive. Software é algo muito sensível. If you do a little mistake, you can break everything. So this is my main fear today, to don't disconnect every user of the website or something like this. It's a better fear than had the fear to kill someone. So I think I evolved in that way. All right. Let's move on. Girls, I don't remember if we are in the question number 3 or in the number 5. So I will give you the opportunity. Rita, can you choose a question if you want to answer and read for us, please?
I think it is 5.
Okay.
It is common to have fear, and why? I think it's common, very, very common. Like I told you before, is a good feel to your life. This can let's say, impede, né, de nos colocar em risco. I think the fear is good in this way, but I think it's not be a big fear, because if you have a big fear all the thing, you don't do good thing in your life. You lose some opportunity, you lose some things good in your life. So I think it's common to feel, not putting yourself in danger, but you need to be careful about a lot of fear in your life. Maybe sometimes some people need to take a therapy or do something for be able to change, to not change, lidar, não sei falar, with the fear in your life. And about you, Belle?
So yeah, I totally agree with you. we are the same page. I think it's common to have fear in our lives because it's like a technique that your body or our brain bring for us to, like Carlos said, straight ahead and just live in safe security, yeah, in place, in security place. So I think it's common, but it's not a lot of fear because that can be bring some barriers for your life, yeah. And I think the the secret is when you can win your fear, yeah, when you can use your fears like a challenge and when you recognize you are able to do something, yeah. Of course, for example, I don't like snakes. I'm a fear about snakes and I prefer don't live with some snakes close to me. But when I talk to grow up the um, above the fears, it's when you have some fears in our mind, yeah, when we are afraid about to do something or new things just because we think that's don't will don't work for you. So I think of that. And about you, Yanni, what do you say about that?
I agree with everyone. I think this when you feel the fear, uh, when your fear stops uh, mm, stops you from doing something is not good, or when prejudice, I don't know that I prejudica, prejudice, prejudica your health. Uh, uh, Two is not good. And then that's it. But for example, when you have the fear, the jumping, jumping from a bridge, that's it good because you have the afraid the death. So this case is different. Um, the fear is good, depend the proportion. I don't know the word is existe em English, but o medo depende da proporção. If affect your health, is not good. In resume, that's it.
All
And you,
right.
Carlos?
Yeah, I totally agree with you, girls. I think it's normal get any type of fear during your life or because this keep you safe sometimes, all right? But as Jan say, I think you cannot be stopped by your fear. You know, if you want to learn something like, I want to learn how to, I don't know, go skate or surf, something like this. If you had some problem there, I uh, I falling down in the sea and I don't know how to say afogado. Eu me afoguei tentando praticar surf, por exemplo. I never do that, but it's only an example. Now I cannot do this because I have fear of the water. So this cannot stop you. I use this example because I was on the beach with my wife. I only had 3 weeks of marriage and eu me afoguei na praia. I wasn't doing surf, but eu me afoguei. And after that, I get fear of water and I go to my wife doing some rafting. Do you know rafting? Rafting. In some point of the river, the boat turned down, and I got a lot of water in my head, and that triggered my fear of water. So I was in the water, and my wife saying, "Don't be afraid. You are using a self-guard colete, salva-vidas," and but I start to got in panic, and my wife helped me a lot. So I decided I don't want this fear in my life again. So I go fighting to that fear. So fear, it's good to have a fear, but this cannot stop you to do what you want, you know. So let's move on. Now I want to
Carlos,
give you,
sorry for
please.
interrupt you. You can put the question in the chat again. I lost my
Yeah.
connection. Oh, and
Sorry.
I got this.
No problem. I will send you again. But I
Thanks.
want to give you to you, Ian, the opportunity to choose some question you want to answer. Don't need to be the next one. You
Okay.
can choose anyone. Please start.
One moment. I search
No problem.
what is the question more easy.
Don't have afraid to speak in English. All right, yeah.
Okay, but have the words that I don't know
It's
in
not
the
a problem.
translation.
It's not a
Okay.
problem. You are learning just like us.
Eu esqueci a palavra essa aqui. Ah, tá. Essa aqui é legal. How do you handle your fears and work in...
The number
Como é que pronuncia
6.
essa palavra aí, gente? Yes, number 6. Eu esqueço. Troll, sei lá, dentro.
Troll. I think it's troll.
Troll, ok.
I don't know.
Então, depois eu jogo aqui para nós vamos descobrir. So, I try study hard, and I try know myself. And for example, when you lost the person near you, I try work with me. This is normal with each person, independente da situação. I think that if this happens, what happened? I don't know this is correct in English, but in Português is se aconteceu é que era para acontecer.
Yes.
I think I try working this is with me, and data in the work I try to this, because when you have the difficult situation in your work, I think that you have I don't know that the word is worky, but I use work. You have the work something with you, and if the situation repeats constantly, tipo, significa that you don't learn the lesson. I think this. I don't know that you understand, but
Yeah.
se a mesma situação repete, você não aprendeu o que você tinha que aprender.
Yeah, yeah.
So I I always work this with me. And about the health, because I have the moments in my life that my health is very, very bad, and the doctors don't, mm, the doctors desistiram, basicamente. So I using the gods, and I try always confiar. I I I miss the word. So that's it. This is the
Oh,
form that I work with you.
okay, okay. I don't know what you are facing right now about your health or if you are sick or something like this, but I will wish everything best from you. All right, you get better and be health. Okay, I will pray for
Okay,
you, but
thank
I
you.
don't want to be rude or something like this. And what about you, Belle? What do you think about that? How you handle your fears and work through that?
Yeah, like I said, depends of the fears that I feel at my life, but when that feel involve out self-confidence, I'm try change my mindset and expose myself and new experience, yeah, to change that at my life. And I try to study or to be prepared for and to face new challenge or new fears. That thing would be a fear at my life. Yeah. So I'm trying give my best for that because the most part of the time I push myself for something, but I'm not feel confident to do some things at my life. And I try overcome that, give my best, yeah, and recognize, like Ian said, that things need to happen. Sometimes it's not the time, or sometimes that things need to happen, and it's a signal at my life. And I think recognize like that, yeah, change my mindset and try in small steps to overcome the fear at my life.
It's a good choice, doing small steps, step by step, and
Yeah,
facing our
so
fears.
strategy.
Yeah, like it's a good strategy. And what about you, Rita? What do you think about that?
I agree with the Bell told. I think is a good way to handle off your our fears is face it, né? Face it, but I think you need to be a bit careful. You need to analyze. I think is that the entire situation. Is the pros and cons, and not to do something crazy like I'm doing this and I don't matter what happens tomorrow. You need to be careful about that. But I think you need to do something with your fears, not be a paralyzed and your place. But I think you need to be a very careful.
All right, I like this strategy too. If you want to go fighting against some fear, you have to do this in small steps. For example, as I say in the beginning, I have afraid to talk in front of the camera. So I start facing this, going to some immersions on talk and talk, and getting used to watch my face on the webcam, on the Zoom application. And I think the pandemic helped a little bit about this because we do a lot of activities online. So is helping me a little bit too. But when I decide to be a host, to be a facilitator here in Talk and Talk, it was totally different. And I had to do that. Sometimes I give up. No, I don't want to do that today. And I cancel some immersions, but nowadays I don't have that kind of rate anymore. So this is a good strategy when you are go step by step facing your fears. Okay, so I think I didn't do that with you, Bel. Eu já dei a oportunidade de você escolher alguma questão que você queira, Bel, or not? I already did that or no?
No.
So please
No.
pick someone.
Okay.
We are running out of time, but I think we had time to do one more question.
Yeah, I think the question number 9, how can fears hinder us in achieving our goals? Yeah, I think fear can be a barrier in your life, and sometimes you are afraid about something or to do some different thing in your life, because that can be a lot of effort, or we need to put yourself a lot, and you are afraid that don't work for you. Or yeah, I think that the fear can hinder or jeopardize your achieve your goals. And it's like I said before, we need to work in small steps, and that can be a good way to get your or win your fear. Yeah, I think it's that.
All right. And what about you, Ian? What do you think about that?
So guys, repeat the questions. I have the
Question number 9. How can fear hinder us in achieving our goals? Hinder is like stop you. Como que o medo pode impedir-nos de alcançar nossos objetivos? Is the translation.
So, okay, I have a good example. This is my mom. Is a good example, for example, because she has the difficulty with technology, and she try study the college because she needs, because you work. Ai, gente, teve uma mudança no governo aí. So that is, when she sits in the front the computer, and for example, esqueci a palavra, não consegue search something in the computer, she has the, essa palavra, senão eu perguntar o tempo inteiro. One moment.
No problem.
Ansiedade. Já ficou difícil até de pronunciar. And she stops the study. She don't achieve, don't get, melhor. She don't get study, and ela desiste. Basicamente isso. Tipo assim, passa mal, tem ansiedade, tudo você pensar. Because she doesn't get the search, for example, in the Google, or don't know when clicking in the app or the platform, and she don't get make the proof exam, because Enfim, atrapalha tudo. É muito doido isso.
Yeah.
And there's very, very bad.
Yeah.
And that's
I
it.
had
This is
this.
the
My mother-in-law sometimes do that and can be very frustrating to her because she lost some opportunities to learn new stuff because she had afraid to get in touch with technology. I have afraid to go to my bank account and take money, for example, using the cell phone.
yes,
So
and
this
that's
can
it.
be sometimes first for her. And what about you, Rita? What do you think about that? I think we
Uh,
had 2
I,
minutes.
I think the same as what you guys said. I think when the fear paralyzes us to do something, forget your dreams, your object, do not follow your or where you want your life. I think is that what the girls and you told.
All right. Uh, guys, we are finishing our conversation. We didn't have time. I think I will bring this topic again because we didn't talk about a lot of type of fears. For example, do you have afraid to get in a relationship? Did you already suffer something in a relationship? How does it change you or something like this? Maybe in the future I will bring this up again, but for now I will turn off